Alright, let's Alright, like today. Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, Artsy Sister, and I'm continuing with Time Princess. Alright, now let me finish the sound test. Hello, hello. Alright, so now we're good. Okay, that's too low. Alright, let's chapter 1, part 8. Huh. After that night, I had spent a few days resting from my frayed nerves, and I still feel exhausted. Maria, you feeling tired? And maybe you should attend the banquet tonight. The king may be the one hosting it, but I'm worried about your health. You can't spend all that night getting wasted on champagne. Alright, please help me inform the king that I'll spend some time to myself, and I do need the rest. I will. But the moon tonight is beautiful. Perhaps you should take a short stroll in the gardens. Since everyone is at the banquet, the gardens will be empty. Okay then. Let's get you dressed, and you'll be a little chilly, and I don't want you catching a cold. Under the moonlight sky, most of our side is sound asleep, and only the breeze passing through the trees and the chirping of the insects can be heard. And I stand in the garden, suddenly notice figures in the shadows, and my attention is immediately drawn. Everyone should be at the banquet, and why would there be anyone else taking a stroll in the garden? It's so quiet here that I can hear what they're saying despite their harsh tones. The light is still dim here, and I can't see your beautiful face, but you're holding a white rose, so you must be the one I'm waiting for. Yes, it is me. A man and a woman meeting so late in the garden. Are they having a secret rendezvous? And thank you for giving me this chance, and I prepare a most precious gift for you, and I hope that you will accept it as a token of my sincerity. The man speaks cautiously with a touch of anticipation, and his voice seems rather familiar, like I heard it before. Then I should accept it. And that is wonderful, my queen. The gift which would you be longing for will be yours soon, and I'm certain that you are the only one worthy of wearing it. Did I imagine that? Did he just call the woman the queen? A sense of foreboding comes over me, and I sneak behind a tree and peer to the leaves at the two of them. And I can't see what the guy looks like because his back is facing me, but the woman looks and sounds very much like me. Is she impersonating me? She's imitating my movements, and I am starting to panic, and this can be a coincidence. Perhaps this person knows me very well. I try my best to think about who I talked lately and who might resemble the person I see before me. Gabrielle, Adeline, and the ladies in waiting, and all of the aristocrats, even Jean, who I saw a few days ago. None of them could possibly resemble me this closely. I creep in a little closer to get a better look, but carelessly forget where I'm crouching. Oh no! My goodness, I must leave now. Your Majesty, please don't forget what you promised me, and please forgive me. The queen hurries away without replying to him, and I'm about to yell for the guards, but the man nips into the side path and vanishes within an instant. Heavens, how could I have been so stupid? I should have yelled for the guards the minute I saw them. I guess I should check out the spot where they were standing in. I reach to the spot and try to look for clues, but I don't find anything amiss. Perhaps I should search the path that they took when they left. Alright then. And I follow the queen's track off to the left, but I find nothing, and all I can sense is an overwhelming cheap perfume. Then I try the man's path, and I see something on the ground. L, is this an initial? The pocket watch is finely crafted and rare, and even in Versailles, and he's also evidently familiar with the layout of this garden, so he must be someone important. The impersonator, as well as the conversation, are making me feel incredibly ill at ease. If I tell the king about this directly, will anyone believe me? And it sounds just too incredible. All I can do now is try to find out who that man is as quickly as possible and get to the bottom of this. My opera singing performance is taking place just a few days from now, and all my aristocrats will be waiting. It'll be a good chance to put things into action. And I was just taking a stroll and all this happened. Oh well, I should return to my room and rest, and think of a way to find that man. I come to the fork in the path, and one branch is small path that friends and I often used to meet, and the other path is a larger path that Lafayette often takes. Either path would take me to the palace. Which one should I take? I should take the main path. After all, I thought I should be more careful. The white path is paved with stone, and it is part of Lafayette's usual route, but I don't see him at all. It seems more than 10 days since the costume ball, but everything that happened that night is simply unforgettable. Reminiscing, I started dancing slowly by myself in the moonlight, and suddenly I hear the sound of hurried footsteps. Of course, oh no, if anyone sees me dancing by myself, would it hurt my reputation? Oh, I guess dancing by yourself under the moonlight, I guess they could say that you're a witch! Just as I'm about to flee, a stern voice calls out behind me, and my heart skips a beat. Wait. I instantly quicken my pace, but within moments a strong, steady hand catches a hold of my shoulder, and I scrape at my courage to turn my head and hit him a piercing stare, daring him to mention what he just saw. Lady, it's me, the man you danced with that night. Your Majesty, it's you? Lafayette. His deep eyes burrowed into me, and his gaze is just as stern as ever, and a little interrogative. Hard to believe that he saw the same eyes that gazed upon me so gently and warmly that night. I'm sorry, Marquis de Lafayette. You suddenly startled me, and I forgot my manners. Your Majesty, my apologies. I mistook you for someone else. I know who he's talking about, of course, and I noticed that when he mentions it, a trace of warmth and love flashes across his eyes. He's so enamored with that version of me, and I'm surprised and overjoyed, and my heart is melting into a poor romantic moonlight. Oh, may I know who you thought I was? I can tell you who she is, and I never officially met her, and I didn't get a chance to see her face. If I hadn't seen the way he was that night, and his current standards would have scared me to bits. And a mild trace of hope takes root within me, and I really wish I can hear the answer from his mouth. And what if I say that I won't forgive you for scaring me unless you tell me who that person is? Your Majesty, I fail to understand why you're being so insistent about it. It's something personal to me and not related to you. And that person's face shape really is quite similar to yours, and even the dance steps are so far similar. Lafayette. His eyes widen and he stares at me. After a while, his handsome face starts to flush. You. No, nothing. What are you trying to say, Marquis de Lafayette? It's late. It's dangerous to you for you to be in the garden alone. And I had you opted out of the banquet because you are too tired, and maybe you should go back to your room to rest. For your safety, please allow me to escort you. And I don't understand why his attitude has suddenly changed. He's just like the way he was at the beginning, but his furrowed brow and his determined tone makes me too afraid to ask. Thank you, well, please send me back to my palace then. I am honored to do so, Your Majesty. And we are both silent on the way to the palace, and the topic doesn't come up again, and he seems even colder than ever. But then again, I might be mistaken, but sometimes he seems to sneak at glances at me, glances filled with warmth and love, just like the way he was that night. Ever since that incident, I've been trying to find that mischievous man again in Versailles, but to no avail. It is soon the day of the opera performance, and upon waking up, I head over to the opera theater together with Gabrielle. Mary has always been interested in opera music, and even had a small theater built so that she can perform pieces at a time. Apart from providing her and her friends a place to enjoy music, it's also a venue for staging performances, and the audience typically consists of the king and aristocrats. And today's piece is Charlesburg Edelweiss, set in Austria and composed by Marie and a number of other enthusiasts. Marie, you should get changed for the performance, and we shouldn't keep the Austrian musicians and actors waiting. They come a long way. Yes, I know. And other performers today are from my motherland, and I am overjoyed at the thought of seeing them. You seem really happy today. Inviting them from your home life was right decision. Yes, I am so glad, or should I get changed? Let's not make them wait long. Gabriel accompanies me to the changing room and I start preparing for the performance. Marie, you look amazing. I love the way the color match on your outfit, and you remind me of the way you look when you first arrived in Versailles. I asked Lena to make this for me, inspired by Austrian clothing, and incorporated two of my favorite colors. And looking at my reflection, enjoying nostalgia was up within me, and bringing me the memories of Austria's beautiful scenery. Let's go. Backstage, the atmosphere is heavy and tense, and looking around, I noticed that not all of the performers are here. A few are missing. What happened? Well, they fell ill and are unable to come. Several of the performers are unable to meet my gaze and hang their heads, and I have a bad feeling about this, and I hope that the missing people really are just sick. And once I made the necessary arrangement for the backup performance, I got on stage and I quietly prayed that everything would go smoothly. The curtain go up and I let out a cry of surprise. There's no one in the audience. Hearing me, Gabriela hurries to the side and she's stunned by the empty theater. The king did send out the invitations and everyone should be here, and the king has never been late. Something must have happened. Halt the performance. I must find out what's wrong. Once I change back into my formal attire, I hurry back to the palace, and the minute I arrive, I hear the news that the king urgently wishes to see me. And Louis XVI wants us to hurry to the study immediately, but for what purpose? When I step into the cell, all eyes on me, and they're filled with anger, suspicious, and contempt. The aristocrats and ministers do not bother to hide their feelings, and it feels like I've been stabbed by 100 knives. Only two pairs of eyes give me some relief, like a ray of hope in the darkness. Freshness, gentle, loving gaze, and Lafayette's sincere, determined eyes. Seeing them, I heave a small sigh of relief and curtsy, and then look at the king. My queen, there's a merchant here who says that you asked Cardinal Rohan to help you buy that necklace, and that the item has already been handed over, but he has not received payment. And rumor has spread across the land, and the people are saying that the royal court is robbing the merchant, it will soon be robbing them. Did you not say this was a misunderstanding? I believe you, and I even asked Lafayette to help clear your name. But now the merchant has come seeking payment. How do you explain this? The sparkly diamond necklace appears in my bag, but now all the sparkles are sharp as needles. And I look at the pitiful sovereign Bowman, and I'm overcome with rage. Necklace, why is it all about the necklace again? You promised me that if the rumors refuse to die out, you will be the witness and proof to everyone that I didn't buy that darn necklace from you. But not only have you broken your promise, you concocted this story to frame me. Your Majesty, please help. I'm but a merchant, and I dare not go against the Queen. The necklace is incredibly valuable, and I would not have handed it over to Cardinal Rona had they not claimed that the Queen had asked him to help purchase it. And I just want what is owed to me many years and hard work went into crafting that necklace. Sounds like the Cardinal and the merchant and in on the joke. Rohan, everyone knows that I never forgiven him for insulting my mother, and why would I ask him to help me to do anything? And I already made a promise to the king. Why would I want the necklace now? It's true, you wrote a letter to the cardinal to ask him to buy the necklace. I saw it myself. I wouldn't have dared to give the necklace to the cardinal if it weren't for the status of the royal court. I had never written such a letter, and if you have really something like that, show it. Did you not write the letter? If I actually had the letter in my possession, I would not be here. Everything is pointing back at me, and I feel so helpless. I don't know what else I can say or do. I didn't do the deed, and why do I have to keep proving my innocence? I have to prove that I didn't buy the necklace, and that I already changed, and that I'm worthy of the king's trust. Your Majesty, I am innocent, please believe me. Louis XVI avoids my gaze, and he does not reply, but his gesture already signals that he does not trust me. My queen, this time it's no longer about whether I believe you. Whatever trust there's been between the king and I seems to have vanished along with a little sigh. And now I feel icy cold as though a wintry wind has blown right through me, and I am chilled to the bone and frozen in place. Yes, he is a king before he is my husband, but I mustn't give up. I have to do my best to defend myself. Your Majesty, why do you say that? Perhaps we can clear my name once more. Louis the 15 looks wearily at Lafayette, and Lafayette gets to him and addresses me sternly. This isn't like the last time, and it's not a lot more serious, and we can't just put a stop to the rumor. There's a malicious talk over the kingdom, and it's spreading like wildfire. The issue with the necklace has caused the people to call you Madame Deficit, and they're clamoring to have you sent back to Austria. Well, maybe they should send me back to Austria, at least there I won't get decapitated. What? I already tried so hard, and yet this is happening. Is it impossible to change history? No, I refuse to give in, and I take a few deep breaths and force myself to calm down, and this is not time to panic, and I must think of a solution, a way to preserve my life. Just as I'm struggling with myself, Ferdinand walks up and sweeps his eyes across all who are present and speaks. France has been accumulating debts ever since Louis XV, and with the war on top of that, people have long since lost their faith in their royalty. And this necklace that is causing so much hoo-ha has happens to be the one that Louis XV commissioned for Madame du Barry. And now all of the troubles are being pushed upon the Queen. Come, Ferdinand, please watch your words. I'm not trying to accuse Louis XV of anything. My point is blaming the Queen for this mess won't help the situation at all. What we should focus on is to find out exactly what happened, and that's the only way to solve the current crisis. The room is suddenly filled with the sound of people whispering to one another, and from the way they keep glaring at me and Ferdinand, I'm sure they're gossiping about my relationship with him, and they don't care about my innocence at all. Just as I'm about to despair, Lafayette moves to Ferdinand's side and regards everyone with a steely gaze. I agree with Count Fersen. And at the moment, apart from the merchant's word, we had not seen any proof or nor any witnesses. The Queen says that she does not have the necklace. Then where is the necklace? As for the letter of warning mentioned, where is it? And I think that we should investigate the matter right away, and we must have sure justice is served for the Queen's sake as well as France. You're right. Now that things are no longer seen as tired, my legs turn to jelly and I almost fall over. But Lafayette can handle this again, other people will think ill of him and things might get worse. I will ask an experienced minister named Blaisdell to handle the investigation. And we shall investigate the authenticity of the letter and the necklace whereabouts and find out who are involved, and we must find the truth. My queen, are you agreeable to this arrangement? Blasio is my most trusted minister, and he's meticulous in his work and has always done what is best for France and the royal family. The people of France don't respect me as queen, but think of me as a frivolous princess from Austria. Blasio won't regard my reputation as top priority. He'll probably do what's best for the whole royal family as a whole. And my choice will affect me greatly, and it might change my fate and the fate of France. Should I agree to letting Blasio handle the investigation? If I could, I wish I could take part in the investigation myself. Even if I cannot change my fate, at least I'll find out the truth. But if I do that and go against the king, will I offend him? And I don't know if I should trust Blasdale, but I think that I have no other choice, and I can only quietly hope that the results will prove my innocence and grant me justice. I should trust in your Majesty's judgment. If that's so, that's good. The king and all the aristocrats and the minister's presence seem to relax a great deal, but Ferdinand's brow remains furrowed. I still feel that I can't stand by and do nothing, and that involves my well-being as well, after all. If I can do something anything to help the king and the royal family, I am willing to give it all my all. Maybe I understand how you feel. I was too hasty just now, and I didn't mean to treat you that way. But in order to convince people, I must investigate everyone involved, including you. The process might discomfort you, but this is something that cannot be avoided. And I will make sure the truth comes to light as soon as possible, and that no one is falsely accused, especially you. Marie, please believe me. His earnestness is so appealing that I am utterly unable to utter a word of disagreement. After a brief moment of hesitation, I curtsy. Very well then, your Majesty, and I shall hand this over to you. Blasio, please handle the matter and submit the progress report to me. Yes, your Majesty. Oh wait, and since Cardinal Rohan is involved, I think it's best to let The Queen and I handled that part of the interrogation. Let us go together. With your Majesty's presence, I'm sure that we will be able to get just results. And please allow me to prepare for the visit. The king has given me his promise, and no things are moving along, but there's a lingering shadow of doom within me. The matter that I thought was already solved has emerged again in a worse form than before, so I can't help but feel that no matter how hard I try, I won't be able to escape an execution. And I can only hope that I'm worrying too much and that there's still a chance to change things. All the tension leaves me as soon as I shut the door, and I lean against the door, half sliding against the floor, and I heave a sigh of relief. Maria, you alright? Do you want to rest a while? It's alright. I mustn't let the king wait too long, and I'll go change into something suitable for visiting the cardinal. Okay. This outfit makes you look grave and formal, and I think it suits the occasion perfectly. I trust your judgment. There isn't time, and I must hurry to the king. Thank you, Gabriel. And wait for me, and I'll be alright. Clear light shines through the stained glass, and we step into the church and spot the cardinal with his back facing us. Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and may the love of God be with you, my King and Queen, and also with you, my dear cousin. And we are here today to ask you about the necklace. What's wrong, cousin? You see, like, that's exactly like nepotism hire, like. Because, like, the cardinal who's in a high position also happens to be the cousin of the king. But then again, nepotism in its original word, like, it was originally like an Italian word that meant, like, giving the job to your cousin. So there you have it. What's wrong, cousin? Rohan throws me a glance and then looks at the king, and he has a guilty expression on his face, as though he's nervous about something. Yes, I heard about the necklace, and I swear by the name of God, as a messenger of God, I cannot tell a lie, and I cannot possibly make use of the queen's name to purchase a diamond necklace. I simply heard that the queen really likes the necklace, but for some reason is unable to purchase it openly. And that is why the queen asked her friend to ask me to help her approach the merchant. Of course, I cannot deny that I did it in an attempt to win the queen's favor by giving her a most precious gift. Your Majesty, you know that I've offered the queen before, that I offended the queen before, and this was an act of selfishness, and please forgive me for not informing you of the matter. The queen does not reply immediately, and I turn over the cardinal's words in my mind, and there seems to be something amiss. A most precious gift, and where have I heard that phrase before? And that scene under the moon unfolds within my mind, and the mysterious man with his back facing me talking to the queen. But you're holding a white rose, so you must be the one I'm waiting for. Yes, it's me. And I prepare a most precious gift for you, and I hope that you will accept it as a token of my sincerity. Then I shall accept it, and that's wonderful, my queen. The gift which you've been longing for will be yours, and I'm certain that you are the only one worthy of wearing it. Ah, the queen impersonator stole the necklace. Could it be him? He may be a cardinal, but he is of noble birth and is hence able to enter Versailles freely, and I never thought of investigating him. If it is him, it's not a coincidence that he met up with a fake queen. Someone really is setting me up. Could it be Adelaida? But does she hate me enough to drag the whole Versailles into this mess? I don't think she'll be that stupid. The fall of the royal family will be detrimental to her too. But if it's not her, then who? My queen? Yes, your majesty. Do you have anything to say to my cousin, or are you admitting your guilt? Oh no, I was just wondering which friend of mine is the Cardinal Roja talking about. I never told Gabriela to do such a thing, and she wouldn't possibly lie about what I said. No, it's not the Duchess Paulina, but another friend of yours, Madame Jean. Jean. No, I don't know anyone by that name, and she's definitely not my friend. Are you saying that, Jean? I've been deceived? No way, bud. I'm not being deceived, but why hasn't Madame Jean contacted me again? Cousin, calm down. You're falling for a trap someone had a pawn out of you. But she gave me a letter that was written by you, and I'll get someone to fetch it immediately. Rohan turns to give his order, and I feel the king's gaze upon me, kind yet with a familiar disapproving cast to it. I know that look all too well, and I try my best to cope with the disappointment welling up in me, and I need all my wits with me to face this challenge. Your Majesty, this is the letter that Madame Jean passed to me. Let me see. The kitten saddens the contents of the letter, and there's no change in his expression, and he silently passes it over to me. Dear Cardinal, I really wish to accept your goodwill, but there's a request I must make. I believe you heard of the beautiful Dubarry necklace and how beautiful it is, and I'm sure you'll agree that the necklace to destiny is to grace my neck. But there are some reasons as to why I can't purchase it directly, and I beg you, kind Cardinal, to offer my apologies to Bonner and purchase a necklace on my behalf. And you shall bring it back to me, and in return you shall have my unending friendship, Marie Antoinette of France. The writing imitates the way I speak, and people who don't interact with me regularly will have been fooled. I look at the king, and at this moment I really hope that my husband will not disappoint me. Your Majesty, do you really think I wrote this letter? I know your handwriting well. It is very similar, but it's definitely not written by you. As a royalty, you would not sign off with of France. Regrettably, my dear cousin did not spot the ruse. So Jean actually there to forge a letter to deceive me. Heavens, then what has happened to the necklace I gave her to pass to the queen? I had never received the necklace, and I believe that she has run off with it. No, how could this be? My goodness, I am so ashamed. This is a result of your idiocy. Your Majesty, I admit that I have made mistakes in various aspects, but I swear that I am a victim in this matter as well. Please grant me your understanding. I don't get out much from the church. A forged letter was glaring mistakes all over it, good enough to deceive you, and now the queen's reputation is damaged, and the people are enraged. You had let down your lineage, and considering how we know how this story ends, like this idiot, he got like his cousin and his wife were killed. I have seen no Holy Father Almighty and Father of all the saints. Rohan starts to pray frantically while I watch uncodely, and his wretched demeanor looks clownish and undeservingly of pity. When the queen is wrongfully accused, her good name is not clear. There is damage to her reputation as well as the reputation of the royal family. Cardinal, in light of the situation, I must give orders to detain you. I beg you, I cannot go through such a humiliation. I was deceased. Please grant me your pity. Oh, Holy Father of faith, all the saints. The king ignores Rohan's pleas, and he leads me out of the church back to the carriage and to the palace. Back in Versailles, the king informs Placier about Rohan, and then he takes me to the hand and brings me to his study. My dear Marie, I would rather hurt others before upsetting you. And I know that you suffered a great deal over the matter, and the truth hasn't been completely revealed yet, but I believe that you are a victim. However, if this matter were to be made public, it will harm both the royal family and the church. I understand why he's being so gentle, but I can also understand that he can't shield me like a husband should, given his position as king. Your Majesty, are you saying that you hope I won't pursue the matter? I am willing to make amends in any way possible, Marie. I understand, and how do you wish to handle the matter, Your Majesty? If I can settle this matter privately with a merchant, and perhaps we can preserve the royal family's dignity, but this might inconvenience you. Do you agree to this? If we publicize the fact that the king's cousin, the cardinal, has something foolish, it will be a disgrace to the royal family and the aristocrats, and they will all hate me. But if we don't publicize the matter, my reputation may be ruined forever. The only way to solve the problem will be to find the thief named Jean, and only then will the people believe that I'm innocent. But there's no guarantee that we'll be able to catch her before the people's wrath get out of him. And will anyone believe me, or will they all think that I am the mastermind? There are too many undetermined factors, and I pondered for long while I replied to him. Your Majesty, Mm, let's just go with... I understand. If this is what you wish, then I shall leave it out to blast there. And I had lost much in holding on to what I can have left is all I can do, and that includes the king's trust and support. Maria, I'm delighted that you place so much trust in me, and I should make sure that the Blasier will handle this matter appropriately. It is merely a duty as queen for the sake of France, your majesty. And the king's smile makes me realize all of this and that I haven't seen him this relaxed in ages. My dear, please believe me that I wish I could punish Rohan severely, but we must not let the royal reputation sink into the matter, right? Yes, you're right. And for the first time, I can feel the weight of the crown, and it's just like a tiny birdcage imprisoned in all of her size. But I do not wish to stare up at the skies forever and dreaming of flying free, though I may be in a cage. I want to try spreading my wings. Your Majesty, I have a few small requests. And Marie, speak your mind. If I can grant it, I will do my best, I promise. Please ask Basia to send men to apprehend Jean as quickly as possible. And there might be another woman with her who might be her accomplice. And if we can catch the two, then we will be able to find out the truth, and I may still have a chance to clear my name, and then the trust of the people of France. This is what I found in the gardens one night, and I feel that it might be some help, and please pass it to Bastille. Alright, I shall do that. And I will tell Blasio to handle the matter in the way that you suggested, and I'll get to report of him. Oh yes, and I'll let you handle all of the people involved in this, and what do you think? As you wish, your majesty. And thank you for being understanding. As long as we can maintain the dignity of the royal court, I'm willing to accede to your every wish, my queen. And I see a trace of a plea in his case that he may not be conscious of, and not knowing how to reply to him, I simply curtsy respectfully. Walking down the palace corridor, I feel my steps growing heavier and heavier. What awaits me at the end of the path? Demons, angels, I had no clue. Or the guillotine. Maybe too much has passed, but my sleep is plagued by all sorts of dreams about Marie and about me. The dreams intermingle, and eventually I can no longer tell which the dreams are mine, and it feels as though they all belong to me. And after experiencing so much, I seem to have merged together with other person, and I can no longer differentiate my consciousness from hers. A few days later, I received a tea invite from the king. And the king has always been so busy and not a fan of such things. Such an invitation caught me off guard. There's no point in dwelling on it. I better get changed and go. When I spot Blasian in the gardens, I realized there's more to this. Your Majesty, good day. According to your wishes, I'm here today to report on the progress of the investigation. We have found the whereabouts of the suspect named Jean, and soon we will be able to bring her in for an interrogation. But the accomplice you mentioned doesn't seem to be with her, and I will send men to further investigate. But I must warn you, we have little info regarding her, and our chances of finding her are fairly slim. And there's also a possibility that Jean might have done away with her. Is that so? Like, what he means is that, like, he killed her accomplice. Alright, thank you for telling me. And as for Cardinal Rohan, we already interrogated him, and he's speaking the truth. But there's no one thing I wish to inform you, Your Majesty. The pocket watch you gave us has already been established as the Cardinal's personal possession. And to make matters clear, may I ask you where you found it, or have you had any access to Cardinal's personal possession? Are you suspecting me? Of course not, but we need your help to get closer to the truth. Blaise regards me steadily without a trace of fear, and after some consideration I slowly described all that I had encountered the garden that night, and how I found the watch. However, I do not tell him that the woman was impersonating me, as well as my coincidental meeting with him. So the woman that Cardinal met the night was Jean. I cannot be for certain because it was too dark and cloudy and I couldn't see clearly. Thank you for your information, and your account matches what the Cardinal told us, Your Majesty. Did he also hide the fact that he saw me? I guess he was afraid of getting himself into further trouble. He's not that stupid. The investigations are nearly an end, and we simply need to capture you, and everything will come to light. My king, how would your Majesty like to handle this matter? I already promised to let the Queen handle it from now on, and you do not need to ask me for your opinions, and do as the Queen decides, and I shall respect and support her decision. Yes, Your Majesty. And may I remind you, Your Majesty, that we still need to deal with the matter of the merchant's necklace payment. And as for possible measures, may I suggest the following: either we let Cardinal Rohan pay it off, or we solve the matter by doing away with the merchant. Which solution do you prefer? Since the Cardinal started this man, he should shoulder the responsibility. You have made a wise decision, my queen, and I should also strike against the Cardinal. Why? He is a cardinal, yet he spends frivolously and has corrupted morals, and we could use this chance to erode his power and make sure that he will no longer do anything that would damage the reputation of the royal court. The king cannot refuse what Blaisdell said, but Blaisdell sensed the king's unease and smiled gently. Of course, if you're aware, we should discuss the pros and cons with the cardinal and let him make the decision to pay off the debt. And my queen, what do you think we should do? Blaisdell and the king look at me, waiting for an answer, and I think carefully for a while. Discuss with Rohan in a friendly manner. He may be stupid, but he's not evil. Let's just make him pay us the debt and treat that as his punishment. So he'll just pay us the debt, and that's a kind of order. And why don't we invite the cardinal to face-to-face meeting to discuss the matter, and with the queen present, I am sure the cardinal will not have any complaints. That's a good idea. That's what we shall do. Men send word for the cardinal, and I wish to see him in the study to discuss a matter of importance. Blaisdell, please tell my cousin that we have decided how to deal with the matter at hand. We wish to settle this behind closed doors to prevent the reputation of the royal family as well as your reputation from further damage. And Rohan appears surprised and looks at me uncertain. When I seem to offer no resistance, he relaxes and bows towards the king. I do not wish the public to know this matter, and what should I do, Your Majesty? Your stupidity causes mess and damages the queen's reputation as well as the royal family. You should shoulder the debt and pay for the necklace. Your idiocy is what led us to this state. Your Majesty, I had no idea that this would happen. I was deceived, and if we were to pay such a huge sum, I would go bankrupt. You have a lot of problems, cousin, but money is not one of them. You must pay the price for your mistake, and once you paid off the sum in full, I shall let the matter rest. And you know that this is a very light punishment. Yes, you should thank the queen for her kindness. And Cardinal Roja, I believe that you will not refuse an easy path in favor of one filled with thorns. And you're a cardinal. It's time for you to fulfill your oath of poverty by entering poverty. Blaisdell's gentle voice seems to send a shiver down Roja's spine, and frightened he looks at me and the king, stuttering incoherently. I shall, for the royal court and for my reputation, I'll pay it off. He gazes at the king like a wounded animal, but the king ignores his unspoken plea. Now that everything has settled, a shadow leaves from my heart, and I am hopeful again. If everything goes smoothly, I might believe that I really might be able to change the history and escape Marie's tragic fate. Several days have passed since my talk with Blasio, but I still haven't received any progress report from him. And this morning I finally received some exciting news. Blasio has finished his investigation and wishes to see me tomorrow. But I'm so anxious that I can't wait any longer, so I decided to head to Blaisdell's residence. My goodness, my most gracious queen, why are you in such a hurry? I wish to listen to your report right away. Of course, your wish is my command. Your Majesty, we have caught Jean and brought her to the palace. Really, and where is she now? I want to talk to her myself. The dungeons are no place for a queen, and besides I already obtained all the details, so no need to worry. Is that so? Then please tell me what happened and why she has done this deed and don't leave me out of anything. After consolidating all of the clues and interrogating results, it appears that everything matches Cardinal's account. Someone made use of him, and Jean, is she an aristocrat or is she merely a trickster disguised as one? Strangely enough, not only is Madame Valois an aristocrat, she is of noble lineage. Her ancestors can be traced back to the royal family of the 16th century when the House of Valois ruled France. Ah, so she wants to remove this kingly family so that she becomes the new queen, maybe. Or maybe we're giving her too much credit. I am started to hear the name Valios, and her ancestry is far nobler and elder than aristocrats in Versailles. If so, I don't see why she'll frame me for the sake of money, but I don't remember offending her at any point. Oh, apart from her name, she's penniless, and she may be descended from royalty, but she lives a life of poverty. According to investigators, when she was a child, she had to beg in order to survive and almost starved to death on the street. My goodness, it is hard to imagine how a little girl must have spent her days in that situation. Later on, her youth and beauty got her married to a count, but her finances never got better. But at the nobility gets stipend, don't they? So how did she? They had never controlled their own spending, so no matter how much money they get, they would only spend until they're broke. Brazil gives a look, and his smile grows deeper. I know he's hinting at something, and I understand that only I am in control of my own issues, and I must prove my worth. So she came to Paris because she's broke? Yes, Your Majesty is wise, but before this, she already had a bad reputation and even became an aristocrat's mistress. And she deliberately approached the cardinal, pretending to be your close friends, and forged a letter and all for the riches and power. And for why she chose to frame you, it definitely wasn't personal. She simply figured that you were the most valuable target. Ah yes, all of Flan thinks that I am a greedy flamboyant woman, and why would Jing think otherwise? Blasio's tone is a little sarcastic, and I suddenly get the feeling that the person he's making fun of is in Jean. Her greed and my frivolous ways wouldn't normally cause too much trouble, but she just happens to pull this stunt right before the French Revolution. So Jean's greed is what's damaged my reputation and the dignity of the royal family. If I'm unable to explain this mess to the people, the royal family might fall, am I right? Your Majesty, a little trickster surely isn't enough to cause the ruin of an entire kingdom. There's no need to worry. I wouldn't be so certain about that. I truly hope so. And Blasio is unable to understand why I worry so much, and I am unwilling to explain. Dude, I am a time traveler from the future inside Marie Antoinette's body, and trust me, when I say this, Blasio, it doesn't end well. He remains focused on his studies, however they continue reporting to me without dwelling on the subject. And as for the female accomplice you mentioned, unfortunately she has already been dealt with by Jean. You mean she's dead, and how could she be so ruthless, and that's someone who helped her? When faced with riches and power, even a kind person might be possessed by a demon. And what's more, a greedy lady. Huh? Well then, if you find that woman's body, please give her a good burial. I shall do as you say, Your Majesty, and I'm just curious, why are you so merciful towards me, a criminal? Is there a special reason? I shake my head, not knowing how to answer him, and I just feel that I'm someone responsible for her death, and not for me, her life wouldn't have ended this way. Your Majesty, the Queen has decided to compensate you by letting you decide Jean's fate, and according to the law, you can only order her to be confined to a nunnery or confiscate her possession and exile her. But you can only choose one, and please select the punishment you see most fitting. Alright, well, you just send her to a nunnery. Because confiscating her properties and exiling her, she has no property, and then she just con another rich person into like doing evil for her. So it's just best to send her to a nunnery to force her to do sister act. Perhaps she's only trying to recover all that she should be hers. Perhaps she thinks she deserves more as a descendant of House Valios. Even if so, she can't just treat human lives that way and hurt people for selfish reasons. To such a person, perhaps a life of simplicity and strict rules will be what she hates the most. Confine her to a nunnery so that she can reflect on the error of her ways in front of God. Blas studied me for a long while as though he surprised by my decision, and then he smiled. Your Majesty is indeed merciful. You had kindly given her a chance to repent, and I believe this must be the result of your upbringing under Queen Teresa, and I shall report back to the king. I feel a pang of sorrow upon hearing my mother's name, and I remember that she once told me that to be an angel to the people of France. I guess I would be very happy to hear a compliment like that. Your Majesty, rest assured and leave everything to me. And I've been so worried about the results, but now I can finally heave a sigh of relief as I leave Blasia's residence. I get into the carriage and I am on the way back to Versailles, and I'm so exhausted that I fall asleep. A light sound jolts me awake from my dreams, and the carriage is moving and no one could have gotten in. Indeed, I just imagine it. Maybe I'm just too tired. And just as I'm about to fall asleep, a shadowy figure lands lightly in front of me. Guards, there's someone. Your Majesty, I meant you no harm. And I pressed myself against the side of the carriage, staring at him warily. Who are you, and how dare you barge into my carriage? I heard you're nothing like a weak Irish flower, but I never thought you'd be so brave. And I look at the weapon in his belt, and I know I can't fight him. Your Majesty, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Dion, and I work for the king. Of course, if you're willing, you can call me Madame Beaumont. And I never heard Augustus mention such a person. Could he be lying to me? All right, can you leave now? Your Majesty, why must you be so cold to me? It wounds my heart. And you barge into my carriage and you interrupted my nap, and you expect me to talk to you in a civil matter? Oh my, how depressing, and I could have chosen some other way to meet you. And this man is just way too strange, and he just can't believe what he's saying. And he noticed me how I'm still worried and seems a little annoyed. You still don't believe me? Oh, that's just upsetting. Oh yes, Your Majesty, if there's anything troubling you, I can help you solve the problem. No need, doing fine. Fluster, he flutters his fan. I guess this isn't the best time after all. And he grabs my left arm and swiftly kisses it. My dear queen, I hope to be of use to you next time. As soon as the words are out of his mouth, he lightly leaps out of the carriage. My goodness, the carriage is still moving. I'm stunned and I gaze in the direction he went, and is then startled by the door when it bangs shut. When I get back to the palace, I hurry to the king to inform him about Dion, and after a moment's hesitation, the king tells me that Dion is a spy and a highly skilled swordsman, and that he really is working for him. I am reassured, and now I'm feeling incredibly curious about this man. Alright, so we go from 112 to 113. Early in the morning, the king summons me, and he tells me that he has arranged a mysterious person to help me conduct a secret investigation. My grandfather put him in charge of various external affairs, and he's usually not in the palace, and you must go to Paris to find him, and you must not be seen. Yes, I understand. But how do I find him, and why is he so mysterious? Don't worry about that, and I prepared everything for you. You simply just need to make a journey and give him your orders. The king whispers instructions into my ear and makes sure that I repeat everything step back to him flawlessly, and finally he smiles satisfied. I am unable to accompany you, so you must be careful. Just be safe, and I ask Madame de Niort to prepare clothes for you. Go and get changed now. Yes, Your Majesty. Well, you know how it is in the chessboard. The queen usually has freedom of mobility. Like she can start horizontally and diagonally. There should be no problem now. Your Majesty, can I take Gabriella with me? I'm a bit nervous about going to Paris all by myself. And she makes a good human chill. You are the Queen of France and my wife, and I'm worried about your safety too, but Gabriela will not be able to keep you safe. The less people know about this, the better, but if you know someone who can you trust to keep your secret, you may allow him to escort you. That way, I feel more relieved. Someone I can trust. Let's just ask the Miniman to help me. Well, not the Miniman, the one who trained the Lafayette. Can I ask the Marquis Lafayette to escort me? Of course you can, my queen. He is loyal and reliable, and a skilled swordsmanship, a great choice indeed, and I would rather relieve to have him by your side. And I shall summon him and ask him to escort you on this journey. You should take a rest first. Yes, your majesty. The next day, according to the queen's arrangement, I set off on a secret trip to Paris to investigate the truth. Lafayette seems to be regarding me with a rather obvious air of suspicion. Unlike his usual calm, I tried to decipher what he may be thinking but failed miserably. If you dislike this arrangement, or if you dislike me, I won't ask His Majesty to get you to escort me next time. No, it's not like that at all. And Lafayette's passionate outburst startled me greatly, but upon seeing my demeanor, upon seeing my reaction, he tones down his demeanor. I just never expected you to choose me as your escort. Oh, that's great, then I thought you hated me so much that you are not happy about going out with me. No, I see not. I couldn't possibly hate you, because I am the queen. His deep dark eyes regard me with an unfathomable look, and I can't figure out what he's thinking, but I'm reminded of the night of the costume ball. Marquise Lafayette, do you remember the lady I asked you to attend at the costume ball? Yes. You attended the ball, didn't you? Yes. And how do you know that? Do you attend the ball too? It's not important how I found out. It is to remember the promise. You fulfill my request if I manage to recognize you. And now is to make use of that. Tell me, what are you thinking of right now? Why, you're curious about my thoughts. Can I assume that you care about me? Do I care about Lafayette? Have I fallen for him? And before he asked me that question, I never even thought about the possibility, and I tried to analyze my own feeling, and just as I'm wondering how to reply, never mind, forget what I just said, I overstepped my boundaries. He avoided looking at me when he said that, as though he was trying his best to suppress something, and after a long silence, he finally spoke. When I got to the carriage with you, I was reminded of the lady I met in the costume ball. And she was different from most ladies, a little reckless, and accidentally stepped on my foot while dancing, just like you. So you're not mad and you're actually thinking about her. I know that's only a brief encounter, but people who rely on mass identity to get close to one another will eventually have to return to their original life once the masks are removed. I should not think about her, but I cannot stop thinking about her, and I am unable to get rid of my feelings, and I do not know what I should do. He is the Marquis Lafayette, the hero of the land. But right now he's just like an ordinary man, and his troubled eyes are filled with longing. And I suppose it must be love, and the change in him might have been triggered by me, and once I realized it, I unconsciously leaned towards him. Gilbert. Your Majesty, we have reached the inn, and we should alight from the carriage. Lafayette seems to have recovered his usual stern expression, and it's almost as though I have only imagined that look for a second. He doesn't say another word, and does not mention the topic again, and I don't know if he heard me call his name or if he's pretending he didn't hear me. The inn is noisy and distracting. I take a deep breath and try to focus on my goal. Well, I'm in luck today, and one brings such a beautiful and noble lady to my humble inn. And what's your manners when you speak to a lady? She's not someone you should joke around with. The innkeeper looks at Lafayette up and down, and then decides to keep a distance from us. Yes, no one I rest assured I will not approach your princesses again. Surprising the ears to ask Lafayette why his face has gone red. I take a look around the interior inn and try to recall the king's instruction. I need to order a glass of red wine and then sit at the table 5. Please give me a glass of red wine. My dear lady, there are no waiters here, and the red wine is at the bar table. Please help yourself. All right, thank you. Where's table 5? A strange look appears on the innkeeper's face when he hears me. Head that way. Good luck, my lady. Lafayette quickly finds the parcel hitting table 5, but after waiting some time, not a single customer appears, and we do not see the mysterious person. His Majesty made me repeat the instructions 3 times. I couldn't have gotten it wrong. Once nightfall, whether or not the person we're waiting for appears, I shall send you back. But no matter what, your safety is the most utmost importance. But wouldn't that make this trip wasted? And I must meet out that person and get him to help me investigate. Haha, this impatient lady is pretty adorable. Good day, beautiful little bird. And if you don't mind, may I share this table with you? This, madame, I must insist that you reveal your identity before we decide whether to let you sit with us. Haha, I am a responsible knight like you, and the time is not right, or I ask you for a friendly duel. But my question was directly at this little bird, not you, and I can listen to your opinion, but I do not have to follow it. Of course, if you wish to settle with this duel, I will gladly comply, but you may not want me to do so. Lafayette ignores the person's challenge, and his eyes are as cold and calm as ever, and he looks at me. Madame, do you think he's the one we're looking for? I'm sorry, I'm waiting for someone. Oh, everyone knows that table 5 is Madame Vermont's table. And my beautiful little bird, you need to follow the rules. The king instructed me to sit at table 5, so I guess the person I'm looking for must be Madame Vermont. I'm waiting for the lady you're talking about. Oh, since you're waiting for her, why are you refusing to let her sit with you? You are the Madame you speak of. Well, unless you have some other nickname for me, I am Madame Vermont you're looking for. A toast to the knightly spirit. Never forget. And to put your suspicions to rest, I shall tell you my real name, Dion. But treat it as fine wine and keep it locked within your heart. There's something I wish to ask you to investigate. My dear lady, I shall do my utmost to aid you. And I recall everything that's happened so far and tell him about it in all detail without leaving a single detail. Interesting. So not only has a trouble of cuckoo appeared in Versailles, and there's also a fake little bird. Yes, and you're the only one I thought about, and please keep it a secret until you find the imposter. Of course, I hold centuries of Versailles secrets with me, and I only tell them to the dead. Oh yes, you mentioned that the suspect dropped something, and can you pass it on to me? Yes, of course. Yeah, because the investigation seems to go 2 ways. I'm handing you the matter over to you, and you're the only one I can rely on now. Putting your trust in someone you only just met isn't a good thing. You're right, but since you're actually telling me this, I guess you're worthy of my trust. I will not let you down. And I know a little bird should not tarry too long in such a rough place, and hurry back to Versailles and wait for the news of Madame Belmont. Having received Dion's promise, I feel like a weight has been lifted on my shoulder, and Lafayette escorts me back to the carriage, and we hurry back to Versailles before nightfall. And he maintains his usual silence during the trip, but he's gentle towards me. Perhaps he's affected by my relaxed mood. And I start to suspect that he has already figured out that I'm the one he met during the ball. For some reason I dare not ask. Perhaps I'm getting a little cold answer, or perhaps I'm afraid that even if I know the answer, I cannot possibly return his affection, given that I might get executed. I wonder what the current progress is like, and it's been several days since I ate with Dion, and I still haven't received any news, and the wait is long and excruciating, and the anxiety makes me pace in the room endlessly. Madame Belmont still hasn't appeared, and are you looking for me, Your Majesty? Goodness heaven, you gave me such a fright. And how did you come in? And I didn't sense your presence at all. Ah, this is one of my secrets. If you're interested in the art, then perhaps you could consider becoming the next Dion. And you seem fairly intelligent, and I'm sure you're a quick learner. Dion manages to soothe my tightly wounded nerves, and I'm grateful for his astute perception and clever work. I will consider it. And how are things coming along? Are there any results yet? Of course, and I try to fulfill your request as quickly as possible. And it's my honor to serve one as beautiful and wise as you. And the cuckoo who damaged your reputation has been caged, and will sing the song of truth at any moment now. And do you wish to do what is necessary, or do you wish to come and enjoy the view? I'm not in for any kind of enjoyment, but I do wish to go with you to find the truth. As you wish, Your Majesty. According to my investigation, Cardinal Rojas account matches the information you provided. And the entire affair is complicated and rather incredible, and if it weren't investigated myself, I would not believe that all the coincidences I found. Dion smiles, never leaves his face, and he looks like someone in an audience enjoying a show, and he quietly awaits my approval before continuing. Allow me to present the sly cuckoo, and once my eyes get adjusted to the lane light, I manage to make out the cowering Jean, and she starts shouting the minute she recognizes. Your Majesty, I'm innocent. The Cardinal Rojas forced me to do it. Sly Cuckoo, go ahead and try to act your way out of this mess. But don't forget, I already dug up all of the horrible things your family has done for the past generation. God will punish you, you demon. A little cuckoo like you can possibly decide my fate. Perhaps you should try guessing what fate lies ahead of you. And not bothering to conceal any of his contempt for Dion laughs mockingly at her. Warrior blood born out of wedlock, and you are not content with a life of little cuckoo, but dream day and night of living like a noble eagle. And I must remind you that you are not merely a fallen woman and can hardly be called an aristocrat. In terms of position and family history, I am on par with the hearts of Bourbon. And why can I recover what is rightfully mine? This isn't fair. So jealousy and greed are your motivation, and who are you to covet riches and glory? Have you ever starved? Have you ever begged on the streets and get driven away like a stray dog? A look in her eye tells me how much she hates the world, and she's like a wounded wild animal crying out in pain. I admit I have never experienced all that, but many have lived as you have lived and have chosen the rightful path. You have only ever thought of yourself, and you do not care about what kind of calamity the necklace might cause. Do you mean you might get sent back to Austria? You can't blame me for that. All I ever wanted was the necklace. And I also had no way of telling that the people will be so disappointed in you. Are you pitying me? I think you are far more pitiful. I am unable to find a suitable retort, and when the royal family loses the people's trust, the crown is but a worthless decoration. And at that point, it makes no difference whether it is the head of a king or the head of a beggar. Did you accomplish sing the same way as you do? Or her, I don't care what she sings. Just a bit of money was enough to get her to help me, and men need only give her money to get her to do what they want. She got a nice reward for dressing as a queen, and don't you think I am being pretty good to her? Little cuckoo, if you think sending men to deal with her is being good to her, I guess you think you're a saint. Is she dead? Fortunately for her, instead of slitting her throat, they slit her stomach instead. So she still lives to see the sunrise. Her injury is too severe, so she still needs time to recover. As is unable to see you right now, Your Majesty. But according to investigation, she has no hands in the cuckoo's little plan, and she was only told to hold a white rose and say a few lines. Since she is innocent, please take good care of her, and once she is well, arrange for her to be employed so that she has a way to make a living. As you wish, Your Majesty. Madame Belmont, I hope not particularly hopeful, but I would like to know where is the Dubarry necklace. The very next day, after the sly little cuckoo got hold of the necklace, her husband had already found buyers in Paris and sold off a great number of the diamonds. And I can recover all the diamonds if you wish me to. No, there's no need. It might be a good thing for the necklace to remain dismantled so that it can cause no more trouble. Our first priority is to put a stop to all of the chaos so that the royal family can survive this crisis. So what do you want me to do with her? Dion tosses Jean a deathly cold glare, and Jean sinks back in a shadow of her earlier daring self. Her. Yes, when the king refers you to me, that means that everything is under wraps, and you have full control over her fate. Considering what she thinks of you and how she got someone to impersonate you, her very existence is an insult to the royal family. She made use of the royal family name to commit theft, and as for her, she should pay the price. You mean? When faced with a woman crazy enough to threaten royalty, we should either make her disappear forever or let her death be a warning to others. No, you can't treat me like this. There's royal blood running through my veins. I'm a member of the nobility. Only the queen gets to decide your fate. Jean's yelling reminds me of all that she has done. The horrible yet pitiful woman. Deceiving royalty is already a serious crime. Even if it were to be merciful, the king and the ministers and all the aristocrats won't let her off easy. Well then, I guess in this version, arrange for public execution, well, the only options are death by public death or secret death. They just disappear. I am shocked. I thought that you'll be soft-hearted and just let her go. Some people can be allowed to live and some wrongs cannot be repeated. No, your majesty, spare me. Her face is ashen in her eyes, terrified, and the terror in her voice as she pleads for her life. And I feel my hands shaking that once I lead Dion would end her life. Jean, you plotted the theft and harmed people because of your greed and jealousy. This is the result and this is the price you must pay. I'm sorry. I must make this decision not for myself but also for France. And she tries to say something, but Dion seems to have done something to her that prevents her from making a sound. There will always be people in this world who have no conscience and hurt others at will, and you can't possibly stop them all. But we can carry out justice and prevent criminals from committing more crimes. And if you feel that simple death isn't enough, I can make her go through a great deal of suffering before she dies. No, just give her a quick death on account of the royal blood in her veins. This cuckoo doesn't deserve an easy death, but since your majesty has decided the script, I shall perform accordingly. How do you wish to deal with Cardinal Roja? If it weren't for his idiocy, you wouldn't have to take part in this ridiculous play. You mean his majesty has handed his fate over to me as well? The king trusts in me far is that I imagine, and I'm overjoyed yet scared at the same time. But this isn't the right moment to dwell on this thing, and I must make the right decision. Then announce his misdeeds to the public and let him pay the debt. Are you sure that is what you want? I know this affects the royal reputation, but I have no other choice. And since I cannot explain this to defend myself, I can only make use of him to clear the misunderstanding the people have of me. Understood, your majesty. I will solve the problem at its root. Rest assured. I am counting on you. I was the take away, and somehow I am reluctant to leave even after they have vanished from my sight, and I suddenly have a strange thought that I'll be safer here than back at the luxurious palace. Perhaps way too much has happened, but I keep having all kinds of dreams. Some belong to Marie and some to me. The dreams mingle, and I can no longer tell which are mine, and it's as though they are all. And after all of the upheaval, I become even more closely intertwined with the other me, and I can no longer tell us apart. Early in the morning, I receive word that the king wants to see me, and I know the feeling of dread within me, and I hurry to the study. Your majesty, what have you asked me? And you come and look at what I'm holding in my hand. I relax once I see the intricate lock on his hand, and the lock and steady loss of passion, a secret shared between us. And I spent 3 months crafting this from a real blueprint that was incredibly hard to obtain. What do you think? I have never seen such an intricate and fascinating lock. I don't even know how to describe it. Marie, this is the first time you complimented my handiwork. And do you really think so? Of course, your majesty, this is a very fine craftsmanship. I'm impressed. And I never let anyone find out about my hobby except for you. And you never seemed interested in the past, and I am so glad to hear praises today. I am honored that I can make you happy, your majesty. Marie, you really changed, and I'm so happy that you're not becoming more queen-like, and you're also becoming more like a family member. And his gaze is so gentle and sincere that I can't help melting. And apart from the occasional visits to my grandfather, I've not felt warmth in my family for a long time. You really are an angel for Nausea, and I really wish I could do something to make you happy. Is there anything you like, and I'll get it for you, no matter how difficult that might be? Your majesty, I only wish for France to prosper, and that everyone can live in bliss, and that they can everyone afford cake. When I arrived in this world, I faced so much frustration and anger, but I also met people who truly care for me. Festive, Lafayette, Gabriel, Leonard, and what a coincidence, that's what I was thinking too, and I already thought of something. Really, what do you think? Let's go to Notre Dame and distribute provisions to the poor, and that's my main reason for seeing you today. This might not solve all problems, but I believe the people will feel our sincerity. Let's give cakes to everyone. But our finances. The war helped America achieve independence, but it has dealt a huge blow to our finances. And Louis for 15 stipend way have emptied out our treasury. Don't worry, this bit of money is nothing, and Blasio has already promised to handle the matter. This isn't just for the people, but also to help mend your reputation as well as that of the royal family. I understand, Your Majesty. Thank you. And where are we going? Right this afternoon, go get changed and we can go. Alright, please wait and I'll get changed now. Let's go feed them cake. My queen, may I have the honor of escorting you? I am honored to be able to do something meaningful together with you. The noise of the crowd dies down once we arrive, and there's a moment of quiet, but soon the bustle returns. The church is charmed with people, including Manover's children, and they are the parishioners we brought with us and seem oblivious to anything else. Warm sunlight falls on them, revealing hollow faces filled with despair instead of the naivety that children their age should have. I am glad that the king suggested helping the poor, and I don't know how many more days of suffering the children would have been able to go through otherwise. Do you remember when I first inherited the throne that we also held an almsgiving session? But then the people had high expectations of me and hoped that I would lead France towards a glorious future. But now it looks like the people who need aid have increased instead. Looking at the children before me, I can sense the king's frustration and regret. I don't know what to say to comfort him, so I merely continue distributing food and clothing. After a portion of supplies have been distributed, I turn my head to check my surroundings, and suddenly a commotion attracts my attention. People are filing out the church carrying daily necessities and food, and at the same time, droves of impoverished people are summoning into the place, shoving one another grudgingly angry. However, no one causes any real trouble. Upon seeing the situation, the king nods to his men, and the crowd is quickly separated according to their needs into groups of adults and children. Don't shout, walk slowly, everyone will get their share. Oh, hail the king and queen. You are kind and generous, angels sent by God. Thank you. Their mouths appear genuine, and their mothers who allow their children to approach me and touch my gown. And someone starts to clap, and the clapping spreads to the crowd, and the people's mouths and voices are music to the ears. And looking upon this scene, I finally feel like all of my hard work has finally paid off, and I start to tear. I thought I'd be hated by people forever, and I never thought I'd see so many friendly faces. You must have faith in yourself, in your heart, and you are the most beautiful and kindest person I know. And thanks to your effort, I know how good you are, and all of France knows I will now. The jewelry you donated and this almsgiving have won our people over. That is wonderful, and I never thought you'd be so overwhelmed by this. I guess distributing provision makes the right choice to me. And I let myself absorb the grateful looks around me and give a small wave. And sunlight comes into the windows and bathes everyone in gentle glow, and I clasp my hand in front of my bosom and slowly close my eyes. I hope things will get better and better, and I pray with all of my heart. Alright, so that's the end of chapter 1. We'll continue with this next